Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, it's official. Shams put out a tweet last night that the Indiana Pacers and the Toronto Raptors are actively engaged in trade talks centered around Pascal Siakam, and the deal would include 3 first-round picks and Bruce Brown plus salary filler. And I have never seen so many people lose their fucking minds over a trade ever in my life. Like, there's Pacers fans out there going, 3 first-round picks, Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, Isaiah Jackson. Like, people are losing their fucking minds over this. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, can we calm down? Like, just a little bit, okay? Like, I've seen it all over NBA Twitter, too. People are like, oh, 3 first-round picks for Pascal Siakam. Well, the fact of the matter is, we don't give a fuck about the 3 first-round picks. You know why? Because we've got at least 9 guys on our roster who are under the age of 25, okay? I promise you, we have enough talent. We have enough youth, okay? Now what we need is experience. We need somebody who's a bona fide all-star, and guess what? Pascal Siakam is an all-NBA talent. He's made all-NBA third team, I think, 2 years in a row now. So, you know, at least he's a 2-time all-star, all right? He can rebound, he can defend, he can get to the basket, he's a little bit of a shot creator, he can shoot the 3 to some extent. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. You know, it's just like, people love to, like, make, you know, a fucking mountain out of a molehill when it comes to trading players with the Pacers. Like, for whatever reason, everybody's just like, oh, I'm not giving up all this for a rental, for a 4-month rental. Well, I hate to break it to you, but if the Pacers are trading for Pascal Siakam, he's not a rental. Okay? Like, I don't know why people are so worried about him re-signing with the Pacers, because everybody seems to think like Chad Buchanan and Kevin Pritchard are going to make this trade without confirmation that he would come back to the Indiana Pacers. Like, that's how GMs lose their fucking jobs, okay? By giving up 3 first-round picks, Bruce Brown, and plus stuff to get an all-star that they can't bring back. It's not going to happen, okay? Now, I will say this. The 3 first-round picks are probably going to be late first-round picks, so they're not even that super crazy. I mean, you're looking at a trade of probably Bruce Brown, 3 future first-round picks, Obi Toppin, and Jordan Nwora, Isaiah Jackson, Andrew Nembhard, okay? A guy along the lines of that. Okay, I know that they want Jarris Walker and Benedict Mathurin, but they're probably not going to get them. It seems like I've seen reports that say that Indiana refuses to give either one of them up. I don't necessarily understand the Jarris Walker part of it, and the reason I don't is because if we trade for Pascal Siakam, Jarris Walker's just going to sit behind Pascal Siakam for 4 years anyway. So that I really don't entirely understand, like, why they wouldn't trade Jarris Walker for him. But it's just the idea, like, people are acting like this is a big deal. You know, people are like, oh, well, Sabonis couldn't play well against Miles, and so we're going to bring in Pascal Siakam. Well, Pascal Siakam's more of a transition player than Domantas Sabonis was. He's more of a mid-range scorer. He's more of a shot creator than Sabonis was. I mean, to be fair, like, Sabonis ended up being better than Miles Turner. So I don't understand why everything has to be revolved around Miles. You know, like, every fucking thing that we do, people seem to think, well, he has to play well next to Miles Turner. Okay? I would argue that Miles Turner needs to play well next to the people that are fucking there that are better than him. That's what I would argue. Okay? Like, I'm tired of this shit where people are like, well, he's got to play well with Miles. No, Miles has to play well with him. Okay? Like, Miles isn't a 2-time all-star. Pascal Siakam is. Okay? Stop this bullshit of, oh, Miles, he has to be able to play around Miles. Fuck Miles. Okay? That's where I'm at. Fuck Miles. I don't care. Okay? Like, we have been in this situation for a very long time where the Pacers are not a hot spot for big-name free agents. We're just not. Okay? We currently have what is arguably the best point guard in the Eastern Conference, and now finally players want to come play in Indy. All of a sudden, people want to be there, right? And when we have the opportunity to trade for a guy who's a 22-point-per-game scorer at the moment, who is capable of putting up 26 a game when he plays with a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, right? Everybody says this stupid shit like, oh, well, he didn't do anything for Toronto after Kawhi left, and you know, he's not this and he's not that. Okay, but the thing is, he had Fred VanVleet as a point guard, okay? He didn't have a guy at the point guard position who's putting up 24 and 13 every fucking night. And not for nothing, but the Raptors, ever since Kawhi left, Kawhi was the reason that team was good in the first place. Okay, don't get me wrong, Pascal Siakam was very good in that finals run, but people are acting like they're expecting Pascal Siakam to backpack a team to the fucking finals. He's not that type of guy. Pascal Siakam is a guy that you add as a piece. Okay, and rumors are also that we had our eyes on Paul George this year too. Okay, we're monitoring the situation with Paul George as well. Now, rumors are that Paul George is going to sign an extension with the Clippers, but if he doesn't, I would almost expect Indiana to go all in on that too. It's just, people are losing their minds over really mediocre, stupid shit. Like, I don't know what it is with Pacers fans and just loving the shit out of players that are really not that great. Like Buddy Hield, Miles, Andrew Nembhard. You know, like there's plenty of guys on our roster that are good, but they're not great. And if you got to give up a couple good players or average players to get a great player, then you do it. Okay, Indiana has never been a free agent destination. Suddenly, now we have the ability to bring in a 20-point per game scorer, a bona fide 20-point per game scorer, a guy who will probably be a perennial all-star playing next to Tyrese Halliburton, and all of a sudden, nobody wants him. All of a sudden, we're worried about Andrew Nembhard. We're worried about Isaiah Jackson. We're worried about fucking Jordan Nwora. We're worried about Obi Toppin. We're worried about Bruce Brown. We're worried about Buddy Hield. Like, half of these fucking guys are not going to be on our team in 4 to 5 years anyway. Like, I don't know if people understand that or not, but, like, Jordan Nwora is probably not going to be on our roster very long. Obi Toppin's probably not. I mean, Bruce Brown we know is not going to be there. Buddy Hield is gone. Like, it's just the idea, like, why? Why do we love average players so much? Like, I'm not going to lie. There are guys on our team that I think are playing very well. Okay, there's guys on our team that I think will be there when we make a championship run. Guys like Aaron Nesmith. Guys like Jalen Smith. Okay, like, yes, those are good pieces. Okay, and honestly, as much as I like Jalen Smith, if we got to give up Jalen Smith to get Pascal Siakam, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Because you know what? Like I said, it's not every day that you get to trade for a 22 point per game scorer. A guy who's averaging 22, 6, and I think 4 or 3 assists a game. Like, that doesn't happen every day. You can replace what Jalen Smith brings. You cannot replace what Pascal Siakam would bring. There's not a lot of good power forwards in the league anyway as it is. I mean, yeah, and the guys that are good are guys that you can't afford. I would much rather trade for Pascal Siakam than trade for fucking Jeremy Grant. Okay? Jeremy Grant's contract is not worth what he does. Okay? He's overpaid. So, and everybody's saying like, oh yeah, let's go after Andrew Wiggins. Let's go after Jeremy Grant. Why do we want to go after mediocre players? Like, why? Why? What is the logic? What is the logic behind it? Oh, because Andrew Wiggins helped lead them to a championship. Oh, okay, whatever. Pascal Siakam helped Toronto win a fucking championship. Big fucking deal. I mean, like, Andrew Wiggins has been a fucking dumpster fire this year, and ever since he got injured last year, has not been the same player. And suddenly, people want to trade for him because, oh, well, Jonathan Kuminga is maybe included. I mean, it's stupid. Like, the reasons we do want to do things and the reasons we don't want to do things are some of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard of in my life. All right? Listen, the Pacers are going to most likely trade for Pascal Siakam. Okay? It makes sense because you give Pascal Siakam 4 months to play with a guy like Tyrese Halliburton and at least show him how much fun it is to be in Indy. Because honestly, let's face it, okay? Everybody who's in Indy at the moment enjoys playing here. Okay? Tyrese Halliburton fucking loves it. Okay? Aaron Nesmith loves it. Jalen Smith loves it. Okay? Ben Mathurin loves it. Jarris Walker, we don't know yet, but Miles Turner clearly fucking loves it. He hasn't left in 9 years, even though I kind of wish he would. No, like, it's just, like, can we stop worrying about if a guy's gonna resign or not? Like, if Tyrese Halliburton's having a good time and we're fucking winning and morale is good, which it will be, okay, don't worry about it. Like, I would almost bet like $2,000 that Pascal Siakam resigns with the Indiana Pacers if they trade for him. It's mind-blowing to me that, like, people seem to think, like, because Indiana is all cornfields and shit, that nobody wants to play basketball there, even though Indiana is clearly a basketball state. They put a fucking basketball court in the fucking airport for All-Star 2024. All right? Like, this is the opportunity. Like, I don't think people understand this as well. Trading for Siakam, okay? Let's just say for some freak of nature reason, Paul George doesn't re-sign with the Clippers, right? And he enters unrestricted free agency, right? And we have the All-Star game in 2024 in Indy, right? And we have ourselves Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Haliburton. You're trying to tell me that there aren't going to be unrestricted free agents who want to come here? Like, this is the perfect move at this time. Okay? It's not every year you get the All-Star game in your city. And you get to bring, like, literally every name in the NBA is going to be in Indiana for the All-Star game. Okay? And then, like, I'm just saying, it provides an incentive for guys who wouldn't normally come here to come here. See what Indiana's like. You know what I'm saying? Find out, like, what the fans are like, and find out what the culture is like. And suddenly we're like, we got Hallie, we got Siakam, and if we need a wing, a Paul George level player, who knows? There might be one out there in free agency this offseason. You never know. Paul George could just enter unrestricted free agency. We don't know. It's unlikely to happen, but given the case that were to happen, you can't tell me Paul George wouldn't be intrigued to come back just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So people need to calm down a little bit, all right? Enough with worrying about what players we get rid of in order to acquire Pascal Siakam, okay? I honestly, the only guy on our roster that I really wouldn't give up for Pascal Siakam at the current point in time is Tyrese Haliburton and Ben Mathurin and Aaron Nesmith. Those are the only guys that I think are completely off limits. And maybe Miles Turner too, because we're not going to get a center back. But it's just the idea, like, those are the only guys. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck if they go or not. Okay? Everybody's worried about stupid shit. Everybody's worried about team morale and this, that, and the other thing and yada, yada, yada. Like, just forget it. Leave it alone. Okay? Stop overthinking it. Alright? If Tyrese Haliburton came to Indiana and he fucking loves it, and we got guys re-signing contracts here. Aaron Nesmith signed a contract extension here. Jalen Smith signed a contract extension here. Okay, Bruce Brown came here. Granted, we paid Bruce Brown a little bit more money than he's worth, but Bruce Brown came here. So it's just the idea. This notion that players simply don't want to play in Indy anymore, I think is horseshit. I'm going to call it what it is. I think it's horseshit. Okay, people see what Tyrese Haliburton is doing. Okay, he's got a great attitude. I'm gonna say it. He's the best point guard in the fucking East right now at the current point in time, even with Damian Lillard being there. Okay, they see that he's like Steve Nash. Okay, 23 points, 14 rebounds, or 23 points, 14 assists a game. You can't tell me players don't want to play with that. You can't tell me that players do not want to come play with Tyrese Haliburton. So everybody's making this big deal about Pascal Siakam. I promise you it's not going to be a big deal. And the Pacers are probably going to trade Buddy Hield for something else. All right? So all I'm saying is I think we're going to trade for Pascal Siakam. We're going to get him. And I think it's going to be a win, regardless of what everybody and their mother thinks about it. It's going to be a win. We don't care about the first-round picks. Okay, we have enough guys on our roster that are under the age of 25. All right, we get to bring in a bona fide 22-point-per-game scorer. When he plays next to Tyrese, he's probably going to be a 26-point-per-game scorer. Probably be a multi-year all-star. Okay, like, he's already a two-time all-star. If he plays with Tyrese Haliburton, odds are he's going to be a 3, 4, 5-time all-star. Okay, so that's all. That's all I want to say. Stop overthinking it. You know, just be happy. Okay, just be happy that you're getting yourself a 22-point-per-game scorer that you're able to trade for rather than having to compete with other teams in free agency for him. Okay, that's the one benefit to this, is that you give Pascal Siakam the chance to play with Tyrese Haliburton and really see what it's like rather than just sign a contract on a whim and hope you like it. Okay, you're giving him 4 months to say, you know, how much do I like playing with this team? And I guarantee you he's going to fucking love it. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.